Hey there, it's another Evangelista, your go-to real estate agent right here in the buzzing New York City tri-state area. Welcome to my channel where I dish out all the real estate insights, tips, and tricks that you need to succeed. It's all about making your real estate journey a breeze and having a little fun while you're at it. For more on that, check out my YouTube shorts and have a laugh. In this video, I will explore the advantages and disadvantages of choosing either a 15-year mortgage or a 30-year mortgage. Side note, you have no idea how difficult it has been for me to say advantages and disadvantages for this one sentence without fumbling over my words. Anyways, towards the end of this video, I will also introduce 2 additional options that I personally selected, which, in my opinion, combines the benefits of both mortgage programs. That said, sit back and let's get to it. Let's start by examining the 30-year mortgage, which, as many of you may know, remains the most widely used mortgage program in the United States and represents over 90% of all home mortgages in the country. This is despite the fact that when you choose a 30-year mortgage, you actually end up making higher interest payments to the bank and overall paying a lot more money over the life of the loan. This being the case, you may be wondering, why is this such a popular option for home buyers? Do they not understand what they're signing up for? And while these are good questions to ask, the reality is that the answer is a simple one. There is a good reason why a 30-year mortgage is so popular to consumers and why home buyers will almost always choose to go down this path instead of choosing its counterpart, the 15-year mortgage. Let's talk about it. The primary advantage of a 30-year mortgage is a significantly lower monthly mortgage payment when compared to a 15-year mortgage for the same loan amount. For instance, if you were to get a $300,000 loan at a 6.75% interest rate using a 15-year mortgage, your monthly payment would be $2,878 per month. Meanwhile, if you choose a 30-year loan for the same loan amount at an interest rate of 7%, which, as you can see in this example, is a higher interest rate than the one we use for the 15-year mortgage calculation, you will note that your monthly payment for the 30-year mortgage would actually be $2,032 per month. In other words, your monthly payment under the higher interest 30-year mortgage would be $846 less per month than the lower interest 15-year mortgage. This is a considerable reduction in your monthly out-of-pocket obligation and a major reason as to why many Americans opt for the 30-year mortgage over the 15-year mortgage. If you are short on cash and need the extra money for other expenses each month, the choice is clear. That said, let's not disregard the benefits of a 15-year mortgage and the impact it can have on those who opt into this structure. Opting for a 15-year mortgage has its own set of benefits. And yes, while the monthly payments are higher as we have previously explored, the important factor to take into account when considering a 50-year mortgage is over a 30-year mortgage is that the total interest payments you will make over the life of the loan will be significantly lower under a 15-year mortgage as compared to a 30-year mortgage, all due to the shorter term and lower interest rate you can benefit from. Lenders charge a lower interest rate for a 15-year mortgage because it is much easier to make predictions about repayments over a 15-year horizon. This is compared to doing so over a 30-year term. Another reason for the savings is because home buyers are borrowing the money for half the time, which dramatically reduces the cost of borrowing the money. Let's dive into another example. Using the same figures we previously used to analyze the 30-year mortgage, let's look at what the total savings of using a 15-year mortgage may play out to be for a home buyer. Looking at a $300,000 loan, if you were to get a 6.75% 15-year mortgage, your total interest payments for the life of that loan would be $303,750. Conversely, if you get a 30-year mortgage instead, with the higher interest rate of 7%, the total interest payments for the life of the loan that you would end up having to pay the bank would be an astonishing $630,000. This is a huge difference of over $326,000 that you could end up saving by opting into a 15-year mortgage over a 30-year mortgage. In addition, if you plan to move within a shorter time frame, a 15-year mortgage will make it so that you can accumulate equity faster, making it so that you have a stockpile of cash, in a sense, to be able to deploy into the purchase of your next home. For For example, if you were to move within 5 years of buying your house under these terms, you would have accumulated $115,945 in equity with a 15-year mortgage. In comparison, using a 30-year mortgage, you would only have $18,101 in equity. See the difference? If your monthly expenses are a concern, a 30-year mortgage is a great option to keep your home purchase affordable. And if you're thinking of moving quickly or can afford the higher monthly expense, a 15-year mortgage is not to be overlooked. However, are these really your only two options? I don't think so, and I opt for this third approach. Not often talked about, a third strategy that is often overlooked is perfect for those individuals who can afford the higher payment of a 15-year mortgage, but who might still prefer the flexibility of a 30-year mortgage. This approach is geared towards maximizing your total wealth and maximizing your options. This is how it works. The strategy is to choose a 30-year mortgage due to its low monthly payments as compared to a 15-year mortgage. This will make it easier to manage your budget. However, under this approach, you will make an extra principal payment each month to mimic the faster payoff schedule of the 15-year mortgage. This not only helps reduce the overall interest you will pay, but it will also build your equity faster. The key advantage is that these additional payments are not mandatory, which means it gives you the option to use the money for emergencies or investment opportunities as you see fit. It strikes a balance between responsible financial planning and flexibility, providing the best of both worlds for homeowners. Leaning into the investment side of this equation, but opting into the 30-year mortgage structure, buyers who would otherwise choose a 15-year mortgage can utilize the extra funds available to them on a monthly basis for investment opportunities, which would otherwise have to be discarded. Think of it this way. Instead of focusing solely on mortgage repayment, one could invest the monthly savings of a 30-year mortgage into ventures such as an employer matching 401k, starting a business, buying stocks, or investing into a rental property. This is noteworthy because if we look back over the past 90 years, S&P 500 has provided an annual rate of return of 9.8% with the adjusted interest rate, which emphasizes the potential benefit of investing over paying down a mortgage. And yes, I know that this may sound complicated, but let me give you one last example. In our ongoing example of the $300,000 loan, we previously calculated that the difference between a 15-year mortgage and a 30-year mortgage would be $846 per month. With this in mind, what would happen if instead of using that savings to pay down your mortgage and build equity, we instead invested the money in the stock market, the employer 401k match program, a business, or something else along those lines? Using the historical rate of return of 9.8% we talked about earlier to guide us, I've done the math for you. If you invested the $846 in monthly savings from the 30-year mortgage and earned a 9.8% annual return over 15 years, you would accumulate approximately $238,154. Keep doing this another 15 years until you pay off your mortgage, and you would have accumulated an amazing $1,038,250. This is the power of compounding interest. And I don't know about you, but I plan to do better than that 9.8% return. And to top this off, this is before we even take into account inflation. A longer mortgage can harness the power of inflation. As money consistently loses value due to inflation, fixed rate mortgages allow borrowers to pay a consistent monthly amount that diminishes in real value over time, effectively reducing the mortgage burden in the future. This in itself is a lot to unpack, and I am happy to cover it in a different video if you like. Ultimately, the choice between a 15-year mortgage and a 30-year mortgage depends on individual financial goals. Those aiming to maximize long-term wealth might prefer a 30-year mortgage, using those savings for higher return investments. Meanwhile, those focused on eliminating debt and building equity might favor the 15-year mortgage. However, I personally decided on a 30-year mortgage to afford me the opportunity to invest in real estate and other business opportunities. This flexibility has proven valuable during times of financial uncertainty, or when I just needed a little extra cash for a family vacation. Remember that your financial goals and circumstances will determine the most suitable mortgage option for you. If you're interested in learning more about mortgage payment strategies and financial tips, feel free to check out my other videos. And to stay updated on financial and real estate insights, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.